Welcome to Watching Westworld, the officially unofficial podcast for Westworld and HBO. I'm Jim.
I'm Aaron.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I'm Sean, and I'm calling to let you know that your application was very strong, but unfortunately, you're not the shape we like.
I'm one of them round pegs, and it's nothing but square holes.
How did you feel about the shape of this episode?
I thought I was curious to see what the new Westworld would feel like. It felt very different from other Westworlds, the seasons, because it got out of the park, and I thought that the future world was very slick and stylish, but felt very dangerous. And they're introducing a lot of concepts in here that this system, this economic system, they seem like they got running right now, reminded me a lot of like the basic system they got in The Expanse, where it's like everyone's kind of got a certain standard of living, but you're always feeling like you're left out unless you got a certain score or you win the lottery to get a certain job. And did it kind of feel like that to you?
Yeah, the underworld. I don't know what the overworld
The
looks like here.
app.
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to talk about so much. I wanted to say real quick up front before we get too far into it, if you are interested in asking questions or sending in your comments and stuff, this is the instant talk part. We're going to be doing the instant take part. We're going to be doing the instant talk part of our show here in 20 minutes. I don't know, whenever we're done chatting about it. Yeah. But if you want to get your questions in, you can go over to our website, baldmove.com.
We're collecting them even now.
Check that out. That's for club members. Yes.
On the YouTube chat. That's how you send it to us, too.
What is up with that app?
It sounds like there is a secure system in the future that allows you to get real life Grand Theft Auto missions,
Yeah. It's called Rico, I think. It's what it said at the top.
Yeah, which is it must be named after the RICO Act, which is some kind of racketeering influence, something.
Like intrastate or interstate commerce.
It was
fraud. I don't know.
It's laws intended to crack down on the mafia,
Yeah.
and so they're running this thing. And I think what they're getting at with this, I don't do personal, is like there's personal crime, property crime. He only does property crime.
Oh, is that what you're getting at?
I think so.
Okay, so here's my take on personal. We see throughout this episode that so many people are kind of phasing in and out of space and not really there. I feel like he's saying he doesn't do stuff in person. Like he'll only do stuff where he's not meeting people in person.
But he blew up that ATM with Marshawn Lynch and the other
gal.
You're
right.
Which, by the way,
okay, so he doesn't commit crimes against people. Only
I think
against...
it's because you got personal crime like rape, robbery, murder, kidnapping, and you got property crime like vandalism, petty theft, stuff like that. I think that's what they're getting at, but I don't know. That's just my guess. I like Marshawn's mood T-shirt.
That's real good. Yeah. There's so much near futurism in this, right?
Yeah.
Just home automation systems and just I don't know what these drugs they're taking are. But they're in almost like a circuit board.
Well, I think
form.
It's remember in the trailer, there's this mesh net thing that they push into the top of the Man in Black's pallet.
Oh yeah.
I think that's it's some kind of electronics thing that you load it with some kind of routine, you pop it in, and it attaches to the top of your mouth, and it beams happy juice or whatever directly into your brain. Is what it seems like. I don't know, but that's kind of cool. And they've got all kinds of different designer drugs that they're trying to dose Dolores with some kind of super cyber heroin that obviously wasn't working on her.
And they've got a mix of human piloted and automated cars.
Yep, that was really
cool. They've got a lot of just
self-driving Audi was sexy.
Yeah, and you were talking about this dude's boat at one point, which was super
boat.
Futuristic.
Yeah, it's what do they call that? Trimaran?
One of those racing boats almost.
Yeah,
but a future version of it.
I forget what they call the fucking thing that's a catamaran. Yeah, it's a giant catamaran, just a giant catamaran with a fleet of these heli vehicles, these 4-rotor chopper deals. That I thought was a really cool depiction of the future, and it felt bright and shiny as opposed to the dark and grim and industrial Blade Runner. That's the only thing it feels like a very Las Vegas version of Blade Runner.
Yeah.
But clearly, they're setting up these haves and have-nots. Aaron Paul's character, Caleb, is got something wrong with his mom's got some kind of maybe mental degenerative system. She can't recognize him anymore.
She's having trouble or he's having trouble paying the bills for
Yeah,
that.
because obviously that she's in a nicer facility than a state-run joint that they talk about ominously.
Yeah, they've got a two-payer system, multi-payer system.
Exactly. And he's losing his grip on that last rung of the private insurance day.
Yeah.
So he's got, and it sounds like I didn't know because I didn't do a lot of background reading about this upcoming season. Like I didn't know that Aaron Paul. I thought he was going to be a construction worker or something. It seems like that's kind of what his day job is, but he's also got military. And that we see him in a uniform, but we also see him with his buddy Francis that dies. Do you think that that's like a Black Ops type of situation, or do you think that's them doing some RICO work, some personal RICO work that went awry?
Well, I don't know that it could be that because like it's therapy, right? It's therapy for him because at the end when he says like unsubscribed, confirmed, it says like therapy terminated or whatever like that. So I don't think they would sanction therapy with his ex-con buddy who's...
You don't think so?
Yeah. That
Do they
doesn't
know
seem
about
like,
it, though? Would they know about it?
Is this his own therapy program? Like,
well, I'm just saying, like, how would they know
is-
about the RICO shit? Like, obviously, if they knew about if the RICO was, like, on the up and up and everybody knew about it, they could just, someone just subscribed to a crime, let's go arrest them,
Right. Oh, that RICO app is ridiculous. You like money, motherfucker, or whatever it says.
It's like the Hackers movie, only for crime. It's like this is like what people think that a criminal would want, but hell, maybe they do. Maybe in 60 years, that's what a criminal wants. Did we get any dates?
Yeah, so this is 3 months, at least in the beginning. They say
I'm talking about like dates, like is this 2160 or 2063 or? I was looking because they showed a bunch of screens and like every time I was looking for like. At the top and bottom but I didn't see one. Of course, I only saw it.
I know that's out there. I know that on timelines, people have pinpointed the date, but I don't know what it is.
I was surprised to see that the equalizer, the music equalizer from that one teaser trailer that had like the black ball that has like data points jumping out of it, and that they're incorporating that into this season.
Yeah,
it's
and it seems to be tied to Dolores somehow because
some
they're
kind
in
of
LA.
happening.
And then one of those things was anomaly detected in LA.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what they're getting at with those yet. It seems to me like the Rehoboam.
I always thought that was right.
to
So this
say.
is a biblical character. This is the son of wise King Solomon.
Okay. And it sounds like this is the kid of the guy who made it, so maybe they're getting at something with that.
Yeah, because like this is the son of the king that was renowned for his wisdom, and I forget because I just looked this up during the while we were watching or converting this, and I already forgot. But the meaning of it is something like a man becomes bigger or something like that.
Okay.
Look up that, but there's something to that, like the successor of some kind of brilliant thing. Also, I guess a Rehoboam is like a giant. What do you call those giant wine bottles? That's what you call like a Rehoboam?
Really?
Yeah, that's all the stuff I was found
Weird.
out about it. Oh, it means he enlarges the people.
Okay, fitting name for how they describe it. They say basically that it is. I got the impression that it was something that sort of predicts what people are going to do.
It sounded to me a lot like the Forge. Like this is a Forge-like program that
Yes.
it's collecting information about people now, not through a violent park fantasy. I wonder where they're collecting all their data from. Just
I mean, it sounded
social media.
so much like that to the point where I'm not even sure that this isn't like one of Arnold or Ford's kids. Like,
Is this where
probably
they
wouldn't be
beamed?
Arnold's unless it's adopted. But like,
Is this where they beamed Robot Heaven? It's this large
Maybe?
data array that's been locked off and no one has
how
access
would she
to
know
it.
about it? Yeah, so many questions. I mean,
Yeah.
this is episode 1, right?
I mean, like, how would she know about it? Does
Yeah.
she literally know, like, that book about people that she read all that through the library? Does she have all that information? Because if so, then she's got like to the point where I don't know why she's doing detective work. Like she's tracking down this son and like, do you have access? Like I
well,
think
she read
would-
like 8 books and got bored because
Yeah,
it was the
that's
same thing
true.
over and
Yeah,
over.
it's the same
She's
book,
like,
yeah.
I've read enough.
Yeah.
You guys are all the same.
Maybe that's what she's trying to do. She's trying. I don't know how, but my speculation is that this Rehoboam, as I always used to call it back in Bible class, that's she knew about it somehow, and that's either a backup of the guess data, or that's robot heaven, and she's trying to
Yeah.
gain access to it. But yeah, as you said,
know.
the date we're like 92, 93 days away from the postscript to last season where Dolores told Bernard, we're gonna fix this world, but it needs both of us, etc.
Yeah, and the
Or to
park
fight.
massacre, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a few months out. I'm wondering if they're going to use this Rehoboam thing to sort of further explore the idea of free will, because if you have something that is predicting what everyone's going to do and acting on it, the natural thing there is to lean into the free will question, and they've already done that in season 2. This show is equipped very well to do that. I hope it's not a retread of season 2, because this show is also prone to retreading things. I'm a little nervous about it, but it's a cool idea, and it's something that could be exciting or could be really just sort of eye-rolly, depending on how they do it.
They're also baiting simulation and simulation theory, which would be yet another way to. Well, I mean, they already introduced that last year, but there's so many layers to what could be real at this point.
They specifically mention, if you're not familiar with the term simulation theory, it's that we are living in a simulation ourselves.
Yeah.
And yes, they specifically shout that out in this episode.
Yeah, you have you have a party guest essentially break the fourth wall and like look right then. This is we're in a simulation. Isn't it crazy to think you could have a simulation of a simulation inside a simulation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
What do you think? Why is Bernard still kicking around Indochina? Which you did some sleuthing in between us finishing the episode and getting on this camera, and you found out something about the confirmed location of Westworld.
Yeah, I saw a sign that said when he goes up to the dock and he's trying to get to Westworld, he's on an island called Palawan Island, which is part of the Philippines. So Westworld must be pretty close. Looking at the size of that boat.
Yeah.
Westworld must be pretty close to the Philippines.
Yeah.
If not part of it.
That was a little widely speculated, rather, that it was an island for sure, because they talked about mainland resources versus non, and
we thought it was somewhere in Asia because the law enforcement that shows up, the authorities that show up early on are Asian.
I think there's some GPS coordinates that also are pretty indicative of someplace in the Pacific Ocean, but we got confirmation of that. But yeah, I don't understand why Bernard's working at some. What is this place?
It's like a meat packing facility,
but like a weird geodesic dome, sustainable meat packing.
Yeah,
but they're like free range. These cows are very free range.
Future farm.
Yeah, how's a robot like he's still on mission about he's like, I don't know if I can stop her, but like he's out there milking cows for 3 months. Like what is his cover story there? Also, Bernard, buddy, Bernard. Get yourself a baseball cap. Get yourself a scarf.
Yeah.
Get yourself
dark pair of sunglasses.
Sunglasses. Maybe bleach that beard. Can you? Yeah. You show up these docks looking more like Bernard Lowe than you've looked, and you already got smoked out once. Had to
take a page out of Chris Evans' playbook.
Yeah,
he's not going out in public with just a beard.
Yeah, Captain America's got it figured out. You gotta have a ball cap. You gotta have one of those nondescript jackets. You pull the collars
Ask
up
Aaron
on.
Paul how he does it. Ask him.
He knows how he does it. What do you think of Bernard's red button of rage? You can just flip a button and go into kill mode.
I have so many questions about the tech in this show, and I feel like it's just going to bring the mood down, because I'm going to be thinking, how does he get out of analysis mode once he's in it? Do you
think that's what it is, or is this there's some kind of he can suppress his compassion and empathy for? Because he said something like, "Don't lose yourself and don't hurt them worse than you need to," and I think he killed them both, right?
He certainly choked one out. I don't know if he's dead.
Yeah.
And he smashed one.
One guy's laying on the floor, looked like a broken toy. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, it seems like to me he's slipping into some mode that's sort of like analysis mode, where he's trying to get the truth out of himself, and I don't know what the deal is here.
They also have this talk where they're talking about simulation theories. Dolores, she tapped this guy in the forehead and said some kind of name. I wasn't fast enough to write it down, and I'm not going to rewind this thing when I'm watching live. But it's a part of your brain that I'm going to do a lot of research on before the main show that she claims is responsible for our belief in God. There's a lot of talk of gods in this episode. She says, you guys are free. You didn't have any gods, and you went and fucked up and created one, and we're here and we're pissed. I'm assuming she's talking about herself. in the God role there.
Yep.
But I don't have any real analysis on this myself. I'm just throwing some stuff out there that I picked up on.
I got questions on the tech. Questions on the tech. I don't. Okay.
Hit me.
This is a few years in the future, at least. Couple few decades.
For sure.
Gunshots in a park. Heavy surveillance, right? There's got to be surveillance everywhere. This has got to be like UK times 10.
Yeah.
Cops never show up. Multiple gunshots fired. She's got these eavesdropping technologies that let her sort of zoom in on people visually and also auditorially.
Is that innate in her chassis, or is that like
I don't know,
because she was wearing some kind of glasses at one point, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I don't know.
There was a lot
like,
of stuff with glasses.
Does she got Terminator vision like they did in the Westworld movie, where she's got?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I would give it more of a pass if it was sort of innate to her abilities as opposed to just tech that everyone has. Because if everyone has this tech, the rich are going to figure out a way not to meet in public.
Well, I was just
where
saying
this shit
though,
can be
like
exploited.
Marshawn Lynch's buddy's got that button that scrambles all the
Yeah, that was
surveillance
cool.
and stuff. So it's like if she's like a low level player in the Rico app,
Right.
What is Scarface McGee got? Like he's probably got that times 10. So maybe
Right.
and also I noticed
why is I don't know, Rehoboam's kid
yeah.
meeting out in public, having like very sensitive discussions out in public.
I think he's just an idiot.
Oh,
like,
well,
you
okay.
know, like he's a
But he's got
figurehead.
his bodyguard
not-
standing with him.
He's like what?
Doesn't he have the Scarface guy standing with him in that scene? Maybe not.
Yeah, no, he is kind of always hovering in the background, protecting him or something like that.
I just think you'd be a little more sensitive to the idea that people could eavesdrop on you.
Yeah,
matter where
I
you
also
are.
know. So as far as the gunshots, when we were watching with captions on here at the office, and I noticed that most of those gunshots had silenced gunfire.
Okay.
So and I really like the flip gun technology.
Yeah,
the
that's
Motorola Razor gun.
The Samsung.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Samsung gun.
Yeah, it's the fold-up gun. I like that, and so I don't know. They sounded kind of loud to me too, but maybe you're supposed to understand that. I don't know. They own the black boxes. They paid the cops to look the other way. We're talking like mega wealthy people here. I mean, that boat. Holy fuck.
Oh yeah.
That boat's like a city. Like it's like a cruise ship or something with a sail on it. I was staggered by how cool it was.
Yeah.
Who do you think the Sarek guy is? You think it's going to that Euro looking dude that recruits Maeve in the trailers? That's who I think it is.
Maybe they have too many Euro-looking dudes because
They do have a lot of
I
Euro-looking
couldn't tell
dudes.
Scarface from the Euro-looking dude in the trailer.
Oh, really? That wasn't. Yeah, I think that
They're
guy
not
is
the
from.
same guy.
I think that guy was Maximus's left hand, right hand man in the movie Gladiator. He's a lot younger in that movie, but I think it's the
I
same
don't remember.
dude. Yeah, I don't think it's the same one. And also, Maeve is in the parks. We talked about that in the
Yes.
preseason that we didn't think that she got out, and I'm like, well, surely that's one of the marbles, right?
If
But-
you didn't watch past the credits, go watch.
Oh yeah, I forgot that this was actually a post-credit scene. There's a whole Nazi world
Yeah.
a scene waiting for you on the other side of the credits, and it's not much of one. It's just literally Maeve waking up, going to the next room, seeing I guess a young Nazi. Doesn't seem like a guest tied up, and then she looks out and yep, Nazi world's happening.
So pretty much guaranteed she's eliminated from the list of people who might be in those 5 pearls.
Probably.
Okay.
But you gotta wonder, why would she get out of the bar? I don't know because I don't know how much rolling back of her character they're planning on doing, and how much would be interesting, how much will people put up with? Because
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched her twice in a row, slowly remember and piece together things and acquire power. 2 seasons in a row, a third season, I kind of want her to this is like riding a bicycle. Oh yeah, I'm woke. Yeah, I have control of this thing. I'm Neo in the Matrix. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Air Neo in. I can't. What is the German word for Matrix?
I don't know.
Matrix Dorf.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, Air Neo in the Matrix Dorf.
Yeah. So I don't know. I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was super cool to see
It's very intriguing.
the future as depicted in Westworld.
It's funny for all their talk about like this isn't as big of a puzzle box as last season. I feel like there's so many mysteries already.
They're opening doors.
Yeah, and it's just all a bunch of like weird proper nouns like Sarek and Rehoboam and yeah, Francis. At least they didn't string us along with that very much. The fact that like we smoked that out like in 5 minutes, like, oh, this is a her situation.
As soon as I realized like they showed that phone call multiple times and his voiceover, and they never showed Aaron Paul interacting with him, I was like, this guy's dead. I know this guy's dead. He's an AI, clearly.
Yeah, but we'll probably we'll probably have more of that story pieced through as the season goes on.
But they did kind of hang a lot of the episode on that. Like the ending, they sort of hung on that, which I was a little disappointed.
It felt like
because
a reveal.
It was a little too obvious.
Yeah. Also, I still don't know what kills a woke host because like
not a shot to a hip.
I mean, you can't give her like any amount of drugs to kill her. Like she's gut shot, but it didn't seem like it really affected her until like is she hamming that up to lure in Caleb?
She definitely had a limp. I don't know.
Yeah.
When she was shot.
But I wish I knew what was like close to being lethal for them because I don't know. They seem like the other thing is Bernard just got a biologic. It never made sense to me why the meat puppet versions of robots are substantially stronger than a person either. But I don't know.
Very dense bones, dense muscles.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just they can use 100% of their muscle capacity.
They use like 400% of our speed because I love that scene when they're the shootout in the park and Dolores is just closing the gap between her and her assailants in a fraction of a second.
Yeah,
it was super fucking cool.
It's like she's like a horror movie monster.
Absolutely,
the way she moves.
Yeah.
Well, what else do you want to talk about? Or should we get to the people's questions?
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I want to talk about the intro scene because I wrote some things down.
Right.
Dandelions. The dandelion seeds, like, is that the AI revolution spreading from network to network?
Yeah, I mean, they could have just, like, depicted the coronavirus, and it would have been more timely. But yes, yeah, for sure.
And then there's an eagle, like a mechanical eagle that's flying into an afterburner nozzle.
I think it's supposed to be a wind tunnel test kind of thing, like a test flight.
I thought it looked like a sun it was flying to, and I'm like, I wonder if they're going for like an Icarus, like the robots flying too close to the sun motif, because previous seasons have had these robots emerging from the milky fluid as like in a state of creation. This ominously has the robot submerging into a red fluid, like says kind of destruction. It reminded me of like something out of the Book of Revelation, the seas turning red with blood, and the end times upon us.
We have not seen that color in the intro before.
Yeah, and then there's also, it looked like they were like a host was getting close to breaking the surface, but then it reversed it and she started sinking down.
Yeah, there's like reflections as a motif, and Rehoboam is in there at one point. You can see a dome and sort of like, I think the dandelion seeds go across it and form the lines of it. Yeah, it's very thematically cool.
Yeah, have no idea what it means yet, but it's going to mean something.
Yeah.
Of course, last season there was the buffalo stampede fall, and that turned out to actually be a plot point. So it's entirely possible that an eagle will fly into an afterburner nozzle at some point.
Entirely possible. Yeah, he's just going to fly right into those ship drones, whatever the hell he's got on a ship.
Yeah, take out one of them quadcopters. Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's it for this instant take. We're going to be back on Tuesday to do our full analysis of the episode. But right now, we're getting into our club member only section, which is the Instant Talk.
If you're a member of the club and it's easy to join up, it's club.baldmoon.com. You can join us, pick our brains, air out some theories, whatever you want to do. We're here for you. If that sounds good, join up at the club.baldmoon.com. If not, we'll see you Tuesday. All right, let's see what people thought here.
I'm gonna take a big old drink of this whiskey while you're doing that.
We got a bunch of people queued up here. First up, Sam. There's so much person of interest. Nolan's previous show in the season, it's crazy. If you've never seen it, you should. On Netflix, it's all about AI.
Everybody talks about this.
I watched the first episode of Devs, and it's treading a lot of this ground too. And it's a giant puzzle box of a show. In fact, after the first episode, I thought, do I want to watch the second one? Because there's only so much room in your brain for shit like this. And
it's exactly why I haven't started it.
Yeah. But yeah, I've heard that a lot. We'll see if I have time. Rob is up next. How long before the crime gig economy apps pop up? I mean,
they exist. I'm certain they exist. I mean, what is Tor for? If
I was about to say there's already
Silk
the
Road.
dark web. Like I know for a fact you can buy drugs on it, and I've heard, and you can buy like ammo and guns, and I've heard, I don't know, but I've heard that you can arrange darker things. And there's like, yeah, with all the human traffic and shit, that stuff is there. It's probably not an app that you can run on your phone, but hell, it might be an app you can run on your phone. On your phone,
you can sideload that shit. I'm sure.
Sure. So we're just privileged enough that we don't know where all those scary parts on the internet are. Killer Toast. Those implants by are called limbic sedative. The limbic system, for what it's worth, is a set of structures in the brain that deals with emotions and memory. Interesting. So they this is some kind of electronic system that activates like your emotional core, makes you bliss out for bedtime, or
wasn't that the term they used when that guy was on that drug slapping his tongue? Beta limbics or something like that?
Yeah. He said he wanted to try something new, and it's some kind of illegal.
It's all connecting.
Yeah.
I have to look into these limbics. These so-called limbics. See how limbic they are.
Limbo the limbic system. See how low you can go. Cape Gabe says that was a pretty crazy app, and it summoned Marshawn Lynch. Found it on Google. Rehoboam was the name of a biblical king of Israel. I smoked it with my Bible school knowledge. He was the son of Solomon, another biblical Israelite king who was renowned for his wisdom. Is Charlotte now the lesser Hemsworth? No. The lesser Hemsworth is going to appear in this season. I saw him on the Weeks Ahead.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
HBO's dropping this knowledge on us, so I don't feel like it's a spoiler. But yes, he is in the preview for next week. So.
So I don't think I'm staking out that I don't think the lesser Hemsworth is a bot. I don't think he's a host.
I don't think so either. I think
he's
people
a
are
person.
misreading that.
Armand Delgado is the anagram for damaged Arnold.
Oh, come on. That's not true.
I might be. I'm looking at it like it actually might be. Is that what the Bernard was going under? Was that his assumed name? Was
Armand Delgado, yeah. I figured it was an anagram for something, but
have to feed it in the anagram or the internet rearrange server or whatever the fuck it's called. Tony, season 2 turned Dolores into a hated character. This episode, the first episode this season, is definitely leaning towards rooting for Dolores. I mean, they want you to, and like, she's got a pretty righteous cause, like getting vengeance on the people that inflicted so much pain and suffering on her and her people. Like, you got to feel sympathetic about that. What brain do you think is inside of Hale?
Very good question.
I mean, why can't why can't it just be Hale? Like, they got all of her, like, her simulation. So all you'd have to do is change a part of her program, which is like, you're not a person, you're actually a robot, but otherwise you're Hale.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many people it could be. I think anybody who was in the Forge might be a candidate.
I'm wondering how she was able to so quickly consolidate power within the company. It seems like she is the unquestioned boss, and like people aren't comfortable with it. There's a lot of people that are like, why did we make her the boss? But it does seem like the
CEO.
fact. Yeah.
So that would give her some power inherently, but then
of course, I guess she was always a corporate climber, and then like so many of the board of directors was there at the park and got decapitated. So
that's a good point.
Maybe she was able to use that. Her and Dolores was able to use that.
It's super fucking interesting that they have an AI sitting on the board now. I know one of your sort of like pet theories, wishes, like wonderings is what would happen if we let an AI govern us sometime in the future.
Right.
And that just makes me think, like, what would happen if you let an AI run a company? Would that company be extraordinarily successful? Like, what's his face? The guy from Newsroom in this episode says that basically he's not running the show. The AI is running the show.
Well, and I also wonder, like, Caleb talking about you've got like everything's score based. Like, it feels like that there's like when he interviewed with that guy, and it's like he's like, "Are you even a human?" And it's like, "I don't know." Like, I wonder how much of that the hiring and firing and how much of the plan, because when newsroom guy was like riding in the quadcopter with Dolores, he talked about like the design and how you can just see the design, and she credited a lot of this. So I guess a lot of this, whatever the social credit system, whatever this intelligence and aptitude score, like does feel very formulaic. Like you just, you get plugged into society wherever you fit, and you're kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
Michelle wonders, is anyone getting wait a second, let me back this up. Is anyone getting a Logan Delos vibe from Liam, just without the drug addiction? So Liam is must be the newsroom guy.
Newsroom guy, okay.
I don't know. I feel like we're done with Liam at this point. No, we won't be done with Liam because he got the Scarface guy that's been replaced. So he'll probably
Logan.
Well, they're both not quite as good sons of a very powerful, domineering figure. It seems like so there is a lot of similarities there for sure. I wonder what they'll do with it. Jeff wants to know, I need to watch that timeline trailer again. Where did all the people go? Los Angeles was a ghost town. As part of the mystery box, I wonder if Maeve's new home is only for one side. Hopefully it's only for Nazi fighters, not sympathizers. I don't know that's on brand for Delos. Like, Delos might let you run a concentration camp, as distasteful as that would be. Really?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
They would absolutely let you do that.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, look at what they let you do in Westworld.
That's true. But, like, there was nothing... Like, was there... I guess there's a civil war. Like, if you went and you could fight for the wrong side of that. And I guess you're right.
With the Confederados. And yeah, for sure.
Okay.
If you play the game well enough, if you play the game long enough, you can get there.
Yeah, like the intro mode won't let you play as a Nazi because that's the hard mode. But once you're
just not gonna get there in a day.
Yeah.
It's not like you're gonna spend your $10,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
Spend a day in there and get, to be the Führer or some shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fucking trip. Kidney 05, are the lines drawn and it's Dolores Caleb versus Bernard Maeve on already? Could be.
I don't know where. I mean, Dolores and Caleb are definitely going to team up, from what I've read. But we'll see how that goes.
Will he know like her full? But the thing is like he meets her gut shot, and if she completely heals herself, like that's going to be. Of course, I don't know. The medical technology is fucking crazy in this world.
Yeah, they've all but cured death.
Yeah, and like the way they stitched up the droids last season, like I don't think that's like only for droid technology, right? Like that skin healer should work on a normal person as well as it does an engineered one, I would think.
Probably, or
their bodies are
some version of it.
Yeah, their bodies are flesh and bone, just 3D printed instead of grown in a womb. Haley says, so Dolores isn't hacking into the big AI ball, but she's trying to find out who is. I think she's trying to find out who does have control.
Yeah.
Because there's something going on in that bowl that nobody understands. And like I said, my hypothesis was there is some kind of guest data there, some kind of like robot heaven there that she's trying to gain control of.
Could be.
But we'll see. Chris, is there anything from with Aaron Paul's mom saying you're not my son, that he is not real or something else because she can tell but no one believes her? I mean...
Yeah.
I assumed it's just because she's got some kind of, future Alzheimer's or actual Alzheimer's that they couldn't cure, and she just doesn't recognize him anymore. But this being Westworld, he could be a robot, he could be synthetic, he could be embedded memory. I don't know.
Yeah, they also show a lot of, not a lot, but they show a flashback where Caleb is looking more like a human being who's well adjusted and happy. Like there's one shot of him in like his army uniform or whatever.
Yeah, he's laughing with his
in.
buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, where he's laughing and having fun. And it's a little harsh for a mom to, when their kid comes back from a war or something and like has a changed personality, to say you're not my son anymore.
Yeah.
But maybe there's something around that. Maybe she found out he's doing these Rico things, and
she's disowned him.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting theory. Zeke says, what is this grid timeline? Did those events start before, during, or after what we are seeing? They seem to correspond to where we were going on the quote-unquote map. Like they showed L.A. when we first went to, Was it Joel? Was that the guy's name? What's his face's boat?
Oh yeah.
Liam. They also showed like I think wasn't Bernard
China was one.
Yeah, like they kind of rough. So I'm guessing that these are things happening now.
Yeah.
And maybe this is like Rehoboam or some kind of advanced AI that's tracking these anomalies in its AI network or something.
Did we ever go to London? Because there was a London one.
Weren't we? We were not in America when the first time Dolores sat down and went to that party because they said let's go back, quote unquote, back home.
Okay.
So maybe.
Yeah. So is she being tracked? Is that what these things are doing? Are they? Is this Rehoboam registering her as an anomaly, as something that the system doesn't?
That's what I'm guessing.
For?
Yeah, because she's got some kind of like high level access to this stuff. Like, although I don't know, like her just saying, you know, meet me at such and such a place, you know, come to my position and what did she say? Intercept. Like maybe those are just things you could say to your smart motorcycle. But she was actually hacking stuff. But
yeah, she was stealing motorcycles.
But I think that Aaron Paul could do that. Like I don't know that this is, or Caleb could do that. I don't know this is like a special power she's got or. But yeah, like if there's if there's a central system that is connected to all global AI, and there's AIs that it's not connected to. Maybe that's what it's tracking.
I mean, this fits right into their fucking theme of humans suck and have no free will, and robots are somehow fundamentally different and have all the free will.
Yeah,
like a system that can predict humans with their stupid lack of free will,
right? But
wouldn't be able to predict the robot, right?
Yeah. Those robots can do crazy, wild, irrational things.
Yeah.
Zeke continues, Bernard put a line of code that forces him to press that button when he leaves analysis mode, question mark?
Could leave a what?
Says he must have put a line in a code in his brain that forces him to press that button when he leaves analysis mode. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I can't question these things.
I don't know why.
I have so many fucking questions.
Plus, I don't know why you need a button to do it. Like, couldn't he just be like, you know, like I Dream of Jeannie, just kind of, you know, blink and nod and that does it? What was that? Is Altered Carbon that had the whole tongue swishy thing? No, that was the Expanse.
Yeah,
where you had like some kind of you know, like cell phone swipe unlock screen, but it's on the top of your mouth, and you could do it with your tongue and flip on combat mode.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on to Michelle P. Could Teddy be in Charlotte's body or Connell's? Tommy Flanagan, the head of security that was killed at the end of this episode.
Could be.
Did she take? No, Ted. Okay. I saw Teddy in the Land Beyond, which means he's not in. I don't think, unless she cloned him, like the Psycho Terminator Teddy, and took that part of him out. I think that all the robots that we see, they're in the Great Valley Beyond or whatever.
Yeah,
where all the tree stars are and the long necks live in peace. I don't think those are out in the real world. I think those are still in robot heaven, and they will remain there until something happens. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just my speculation. Johnny wants to know, can robots get jacked? Bernard seemed like he beefed up a bit. I mean, if it's a beef body, I don't know why.
Why not?
You wouldn't be able to work out.
Look at how much beef he's been eating.
Yeah,
that's all he's been eating. It's
surrounded by beef. The osmosis. He goes to sleep with a pork chop every night, and he gains a half pound of lean muscle. Johnny wants to know also, is William the one with the AI proxy? I think William's all the way down in 3000 AD. I don't think he's going to take place much in the current day action.
Oh, you're talking about on the board of Delos?
Yeah.
Was he on the board? I guess is the question. He probably would have been on the board.
I think he was over the board, right?
He was definitely an investor.
I thought he was like the owner of Delos, or he was like the CEO of Delos. So he was like...
Well, yeah, I mean, James Delos was like the guy who essentially funded the entire park.
Yep.
And then he married James Delos' daughter.
Yep. And became the heir apparent.
He kind of took over the company when Logan just burned out and, and James Delos died.
Yep.
So he could have been on the board, yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly. Or Ford could have been on the board. Ford's
had,
relationship was like separate.
Yeah, but he had a lot of power over what went on in the park, but there was certainly like demarcations between what he could and couldn't do.
Yeah.
Of course, I think he could do almost anything inside the park. Johnny also wants to know, didn't the bodyguard mention the boss was a system? Is that the ring timeline tracking her? I've only seen this thing once.
Yeah.
Like you guys might
Couldn't
have
tell
had
you
time
there.
to watch it again, and now I don't know what's happening. Clarky says, okay, tentative theory time. Dolores is already working with Rehoboam. Her foresight into all the events that happened is borderline predictive. The bodyguard already having a host printed is the big one. That's a good point. She went into that meeting knowing what was going to happen.
And got drugged and sort of let it happen.
Yeah.
Like, it got drugged, but it didn't affect her.
But did she predict what's going to happen, or did she, because it's easy to see that she leaves this text history that that was encrypted pretty good, but enough that a private company with means could crack it in time to intercept the message. So it's like, I don't know that she predicted where they'd be, except for like, here's some super duper sneaky thing I'm doing with your, boy genius billionaire guy. And he was just investigating that because he wanted to find out who she was working with and do some sleuthing of his own, and she took advantage of that. Like, I don't think she has to know what was going to happen exactly. She just left breadcrumbs, and
We need a word. We need a safe word that just says, I've only seen this once, and I don't actually follow what you're saying.
that doesn't look like anything to me.
Rehoboam.
That doesn't sound like anything to me.
Yeah. It really doesn't sound like anything to me.
So yeah, because I could see it being, because you watch The Dark Knight. Did the Joker predict the future when he sprung himself out of jail?
Right.
You're not supposed to believe that, but the more you watch it, the more you think, Jesus Christ, how did he do that? So, fucking the Nolan fingerprints all over this thing, just like the Joker. She's as predictive as the Joker is. How about that? Rob wants to know, what are the odds that all 5 mind pearls or balls are Dolores? I mean,
Here's the thing.
they're
If
not
I'm-
0. I'll tell you that, Rob.
If I'm Dolores, before I go out on these dangerous missions, I'm backing myself the fuck up.
Yeah.
I'm backing myself up into the sanctuary computers.
Yeah.
I'm having it on like a dead man switch where if I don't report in 2 days,
That ball
this thing
just drops right into a
automatically
fresh
recreates a new
Dolores,
me.
yeah.
Automatically. And I'm telling Bernard, like, hey, Bernard, if you don't hear from me in a week.
Are you kind of surprised that
me.
they're using the same skin that they like? It seems that the easiest thing in the world to make their lives easier would be to change bodies immediately.
Yeah. Make
Now-
yourself into a killed Ukrainian
Like, I don't know
teenager.
if Bernard has access to that technology, but Dolores for sure could print herself a different looking skin.
I would think so.
She doesn't even dye her hair. Doesn't change her eye color.
Nope.
No tattoos.
How many? Yeah, especially in the circle she's running in. How many people are going to recognize her from the park? Aren't you that
Yeah.
farm girl?
Aren't you that
who-
farm girl I raped to death?
Yeah,
Like that.
you look really.
You think that would stick out in one's mind?
You would think so.
Yeah, if that you saw that person like in real life.
Yeah.
I don't know, but maybe that's like maybe the idea is like it's a dehumanizing objectification. Like how many? Like would you recognize every clerk that you meet like in a store?
Certainly not.
Even like you just it takes a while to even register to like, oh yeah, they got a name and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Also, I think they really want these actors to be in the show. And if you just have
True.
them D and re-sleeving every other episode,
It's like the altered carbon thing. Like
Yeah.
you gotta have a star. This guy, if he can't hot bodies all that often, or what the hell are we even doing here?
right?
Let's see. Then Tony wants to know, I'll be curious to see how and where the timeline goes with William. Are they continuing the real William or the host William that was in the post-credit scene at the end of season 2?
Super curious.
Because like those desolate shots of LA might be this far future time
Could
where
be.
the robots have inherited the Earth, or I don't know. That's my big idea, is that the robots are going to take over. It's going to be, they're going to fuck up. They're going to do an Icarus, and they're going to get too close to the sun. And their wings are going to melt off, and then William is restarted. Like that's like like the William program is Dolores trying to figure out where she went wrong. Like what was her, what did they call that point that like Delos was at where he always disowned his son? That was like the
I was calling it like a cornerstone, but
yeah, but it's like that's where your life continues. This is your core failure, your moment that
Yeah.
your ultimate failure that you can't foresee or think yourself out of or simulate yourself out of. I wonder if she spins up William to try to figure out something about herself of like where she went wrong and how she can fix things. That's kind of like my big idea for the season. And that is it. That's all the instant talks that we got. Appreciate you instant talking with us. Of course, this is not where we stop. No, this is just where we begin. If you got some feedback for us, you can send it into westworld@baldmove.com. We will consider all that and have a super comprehensive episode for you Tuesday afternoon. As soon as we watch a couple more times, research it, read the feedback, and record it. But yeah, thanks for being a club member. We really appreciate your support. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Instant Talk for Westworld. We'll be back Tuesday. Until then, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Jim.
Have a good night.